Subscribe to my channel for more emotional, true-to-life stories. I never questioned her. Not the night everything fell apart. Not the next morning. Not even during those long weeks when we crossed paths in the kitchen, acting like nothing had changed. Staying silent felt simpler than asking questions I already knew the answers to. I didn't remain quiet because I was strong. I stayed quiet because I was broken in ways language couldn't explain. I convinced myself she had already moved on, that I was just a finished chapter in her life, turned and forgotten without hesitation. And I accepted that. Or at least I thought I did. It all began with a message I wasn't supposed to see, a careless notification lighting up her phone. Last night shouldn't have happened, but I can't stop thinking about you. The name attached to it meant nothing to me, but the meaning behind it shattered everything. Someone else knew her in ways I never did. I stood there frozen, heart racing, breath shallow. I said nothing. Deep down I'd sensed it all along. The late nights. The growing distance. The smiles that didn't reach her eyes. These weren't just emotional slip-ups. They were signs she had already left. When she finally told me she needed space to figure herself out, I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I simply nodded, not because I agreed but because I was too tired to fight for someone who had already chosen to walk away. She left without much emotion. And I remained, feeling invisible in my own life. I never chased her. I never demanded explanations. Silence became my armor. When someone chooses someone else, questions lose their purpose. You learn to survive without closure. The months afterward were quiet and dull. No dramatic breakdowns. No rebound attempts. Just empty mornings, half-read books, coffee that tasted like nothing, and the constant echo of her absence. She never reached out, so I assumed I had been erased from her story. Until the day I wasn't. It happened during a crowded local festival. Music blaring, people laughing. I was lost in my thoughts when I heard it. My name. Soft, uncertain but unmistakable. I turned around and there she was. Alone. Nervous. Familiar yet distant. She stared at me like she was seeing a ghost. Maybe she was. "I'm not sure it's really you," she said quietly. I didn't answer. Everything I had rehearsed for months suddenly felt unnecessary. "I owe you an apology," she continued. "I don't expect you to accept it." The world around us kept moving, unaware. Two people paused in time while life carried on without us. "I never stopped thinking about you," she admitted. Even when I pretended I had. I finally spoke. "You already knew the truth." That was enough. Her eyes filled with tears. "I made a terrible mistake. I regret it every day." For a moment I felt the love I once had, the dreams, the laughter, the belief in forever. But I also remembered the silence, the loneliness, the nights spent healing alone. "I forgive you," I said. "But I won't return." Her voice shook. "I didn't come to ask you to. I just needed to know if I was still worth forgiveness." And that's when I understood, I had healed. Forgiving her didn't erase the past. It freed me from carrying it. She smiled sadly, whispered thank you, and disappeared into the crowd. No closure speeches. No second chances. Just peace. If you've ever been betrayed quietly, remember this. You don't need to scream to be strong. You don't need answers to move on. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away in silence and let time do the healing. And if they ever say your name again, let it remind you how far you've come, not pull you back. Your peace will always matter more than their apology.